way too. So I've been a dietitian for, I've stopped counting after 25 because it seems kind of silly. I love being a dietitian and helping people with nutrition. I'm gluten-free myself, and so love talking about all things gluten-free. I want to do a shout out to all of our sponsors. We had a lot of sponsors for this tonight. That's how you're getting all these coupons, and we have all those prizes. So a big shout out to all of these. And I'll be talking about some of these foods in our presentation a little later. Okay, so let's just do a little recap here. What is gluten? I know sometimes people come up to me at the grocery store and they say, Shelly, there's gluten in potatoes, isn't there? I'm like, no, it's actually a specific protein that's found in wheat, rye, barley, and to some extent in oats as well, even gluten-free oats, or rather just oats if it's been contaminated. But there are a certain percentage of celiacs who don't tolerate gluten, even gluten-free oats. So I'll talk about that a little more in just a few minutes. So what are we trying to avoid in this gluten-free diet? We're trying to avoid all of these terms. That's a lot to avoid, trying to stay gluten-free so that we're healthy. And there's lots of, gluten can be hidden in many different foods, in flavorings, sauces, and thickeners. And our next topic presentation that we're going to have in November, we're going to dive deep into how to read labels. So you're going to be experts, and you really want to make sure and tune into that. And we'll have that date coming up at the end of our presentation. There's lots of naturally gluten-free foods, and I'm so thankful for that because, as you all know, gluten-free shopping can be pretty expensive. So we have a lot of options that we can choose and include in our diet to help us get the nutrients that we need and just get some normal food into our diets. So who follows a gluten-free diet? Well, those with celiac disease, so they actually have an autoimmune disease that, so that they do not process gluten very well. And I actually have some pictures, if you saw my video that I was trying to tell you about. When I used to travel the United States educating health professionals, I would take these with me. My good friend Jenny, I don't know if she's on tonight, her kids used to take these to school when they were educating their classmates on the gluten-free diet. So a person with celiac, this is what a small bowel looks like. Yes, I got some rain gutters here, and they've got these little villi on here. These little villi, this is a healthy small bowel. These villi have enzymes on the end, and they have like lactase on them that can help you have enzymes on that help you like break down lactose and other things like that. On a person with celiac disease who doesn't know that they have, that they don't know they have celiac disease, or they're not following the gluten-free diet, can have a damaged small bowel that looks like this. And that puts people at risk for diseases or even cancer, because that's just not a healthy state for the small bowel to be in. So those with non-celiac gluten sensitivity, it's thought that they might not have this problem. I fall into that non-celiac gluten sensitivity, but I really don't know what it does on the inside of a person with non-celiac gluten sensitivity. So I take it pretty seriously because we just don't know at this time all the different ways it can affect a non-celiac gluten sensitive person. Now, I'm excited about this slide because the gluten-free diet can be deficient of nutrients. Specifically, the four on the bottom, thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, and folate. In regular products like whole grain products, like every loaf of the bread in the regular aisle, all has been enriched, and most cereals in the regular aisle have been enriched. So people easily get those. In the gluten-free diet and gluten-free grains, there's not many, whole grains have all those nutrients, but but like the gluten-free bread isn't enriched with these B vitamins, or at least I looked today and I couldn't find any that had them. So my advice to people who follow the gluten-free diet is to consider taking a multivitamin. Make sure that multivitamin is labeled gluten-free. I don't really care what brand it is as long as it's labeled gluten-free. Here I've got a Nature Made, Hy-Vee, the gluten-free brand, but you don't want to take the same gluten-free vitamin for the whole family. It should be age specific. And if you need help with figuring out what's right for you, right by my name there, I've included my email address. Feel free to shoot me an email and I'd be happy to help you out with that. Iron, calcium, and fiber can also be low in a person who's following a gluten-free diet. Calcium, I take calcium citrate to help supplement that. Many people that follow, some celiacs don't tolerate dairy very well, or maybe their villi haven't like reestablished. And so they might not be consuming that many dairy products, and milk, cheese, and yogurt are going to be highest in calcium. So you may want to have a dietitian review your diet to see how you're doing on making sure that you're getting these specific nutrients. Okay, so I went through those slides pretty quick because I want to spend time talking about products, because that's why we're all here tonight. So I'm just flashing this. If anyone signed on a little bit late, I'm just reminding you quickly, if you want to be entered in to win these drawings, you'll want to hit in the chat box, reply to host, because we don't want you to send your name to everyone, and your name, address, email, and a phone number. And what you're going to get in there is a 10% off Hy-Vee Health Market coupon and a whole bunch of other good things. So with that, that's just a reminder because I don't want anybody to miss out. So now let's go look at some products. Okay, so hopefully I've got full screen for everybody. You can see me. We had a lot of great products added in. Now, I talked a little bit about how some celiacs don't tolerate oats. It's actually a national recommendation for when you're diagnosed the first year not to even consume gluten-free oats. Why is that? It's because there's at least 1% of people who have celiac disease that don't even tolerate gluten-free oats. So if you want to know more about that, feel free to shoot me an email and I'd love to explain that more to you. Because there's people who can't do gluten-free oats, I have options that don't include oats. But first I am going to show, for those of you who do tolerate gluten-free oats, we've got some new products on the market. We've got this really cool Kodiak Cakes gluten-free pancake mix. Why do I like this? Because it has protein added. I'm always trying to encourage people to make sure that they have protein with every single meal. So I love it now that we're getting more foods with protein added. Bakery on Main also sent us a bunch of great samples. They have a bunch of different flavors. If you do a hot cereal in the morning, whether it's oatmeal or buckwheat or brown rice, a good way to up the protein on that, one thing I like to do is make it with Fairlife milk. Fairlife milk is actually lactose free, and I got to double check here, but it has 13 grams of protein. Regular milk has about 8 grams of protein, and milk alternatives often don't have any protein, or maybe 2 grams. So soy protein milk does have protein. So if you don't tolerate regular milk or lactose-free milk, this one would be lactose-free. Just be mindful when you're using the milk alternatives that often there's no protein or very little in those. This is another fun one from Kodiak Cakes. They've got gluten-free flapjacks. These are great for camping. Well, maybe not for camping because you need a microwave. But if you're glamping, that would work okay. These have 12 grams of added protein. Sometimes at work when I need a snack, I just pour some water in, stir it up, and microwave it, and I've got a little gluten-free buttermilk pancake. Those are good. It's always fun to find some new bars. Again, all these items I'm showing you right now have oats, but this is Bob's Red Mill, peanut butter, honey, and oats Bob's Bars. So he has a lot of great variety of bars. These are new, I hadn't seen them before, so it's fun to get some new things, and there's a bunch of different flavors, so fun item there. One of our sponsors also was this endangered species chocolate. So everybody needs a little chocolate, right? Okay, so those were all oats. Now I'm going to move over into our other fun items that we've got, because some of you need some non-oat options. So Bakery on Main makes this great granola, and it does not have any oats. It's multigrain with bean crisp and sweetened dried cranberries, almonds, sunflower seeds. It's got the gluten-free symbol on there, assuring you that their product is gluten-free. So that's nice as well. I don't know if my friend June is on tonight, but June and I love this buckwheat hot cereal. When she came to our store and we discontinued it, and she said, I really miss that cereal, and we got it back. So it's kind of confusing because it says buckwheat and you're thinking, is that really gluten-free? It sure is. So another way, it's a whole grain, so a way to help get those B vitamins that we said that are commonly lacking in the gluten-free diet. Pancakes. Who doesn't like some pancakes? I found a lot of the pancake mixes contain oats. So I found this brand, and it's kind of nice and sweet as well. Let me see, it has brown rice flour, so a whole grain to kick that off, which is nice. Okay, I just have to say, I kind of love this Simple Mills brand, and they sent us a bunch of samples. So if any of you are lucky and get one of those swag bags, you're gonna probably get some of these. Why do I like this particular one? It's because it's also low carb. I work with a lot of diabetics, and to have a low carb chip option, this is really cool. So, and delicious. Often people are also asking me, Shelly, what's a healthy chip? You know, there's lots of gluten-free chips, but I really like Bonitos, and they're also one of our sponsors. Bonitos are made from beans, so they also have protein in them and fiber. I mean, I know you're thinking, I'm not looking for protein and fiber from my chips, but hey, why not? It's good nutrition. Again, I'm always trying to get people to eat more protein to help us feel full. And Epic makes some incredible dried meat options. And those are certified gluten-free, of course. Now, if you have kids or friends or family with multiple allergies, Enjoy Life is always a dietitian's go-to. When we get these new parents or family or people trying to meet all those needs, when they have someone coming over, we're like, well, here's a safe bet. If you have friends or family and you are serving something gluten-free and you want them to feel confident it's gluten-free, I always encourage people to look for those symbols that say it's certified gluten-free. And when I have a sister-in-law who's also celiac, and I'm like, here's what I'm using, and here, you know, so she really knows and feels safe and comfortable with what I'm serving. And I know, and I'm a dietitian, but it still feels good to make her feel safe. Kind bars, always a good choice. I love them. They've got protein and carbs. I even recommend these to diabetics because of the good nutrition profile on them. And then these Made Good bars, I'm gonna put that one up really close. These come in a lot of different varieties, but they're also free of the 8 common allergens. And again, that label reading, you're gonna become familiar with all of those. Okay, I got through all the samples. Now I want to talk about Thanksgiving. Okay, look at this. I just went out to the aisles and I found this. These are Goody Girl pumpkin pie sandwich cookies. So yeah, I'm concerned about your protein, but I'm concerned that we have some fun gluten-free foods too. I haven't tried these yet. I'm at the 132nd and Dodge Hy-Vee. I saw that there was a whole 3 boxes on the shelf. It's tricky right now with COVID-19. We're not seeing all of our products come in on regularly. Some are getting discontinued. Part of the reason I'm telling you this is because I want you to make sure and get out and do your holiday shopping so you're ready to go. Do you have the gluten-free onion rings for that green bean casserole? That's right, we have these just in the regular aisle and in our, actually at our Hy-Vee, they're just in the regular aisle next to the gluten-filled ones. Right now, the only cream of mushroom soup that I've been able to find that's labeled gluten-free in our store is the Progresso cream of mushroom soup. So it says right there, it's gluten-free. And the other thing that I've heard when I was on the other Hy-Vee dietitians Zooms that they were doing like this, a lot of people were looking for graham crackers, and we are not having a lot of variety of graham crackers right now. So whether you're making s'mores or you're gonna make pumpkin bars for Thanksgiving, Char, these little guys are available. Yes, you'd have to crush them up. I know usually there's that big bag of graham crackers to make a pie crust, and that's what I buy. I can't see it these days. Of course, what's Thanksgiving without some stuffing? That's right. This one is the Savory brand. The brand is spelled Aleias. It comes in savory and plain. I'm telling you, go for the savory. It gives it lots of good flavor. Sometimes I even crumble up some bacon and add some cranberries in there. Delicious. And then I wanted to show you one other graham cracker that I was able to find because people are on the hunt for these. These are Pamela's brand, and they're cinnamon graham crackers. So that would make a really fun crust, have that cinnamon flavor in there. So I think I've kind of showed you, oh no, I still have 2 more of my favorite gluten-free products that I wanted to share with you. So I love pasta. And again, we're all aging, but I'm trying to be really smart about it. So I'm looking for now a gluten-free pasta with protein in it because again, it's gonna help me feel fuller and it's just good for us. So this is Full Circle gluten-free, it's red lentil. So it also has protein and fiber in it. I have a 20-year-old, he likes all these bean ones too. This is his favorite though, and it's probably also mine, the Banza pasta. It actually has 23 grams of protein per serving and 8 grams of fiber. So chickpeas are the first ingredient in those. So you'd think it would taste kind of beany. I think it tastes delicious and it holds up fantastic. Wow, okay. So that is my presentation. And now we actually have time for some questions if anybody has some questions.
Hey, Shelly, before people have questions, I just want to remind people to
Sure.
Please send in the private chat to the host, their name, address, phone number, and email so they can be entered in to win our wonderful prizes. I only have 15 people who have sent a chat, and we have 22 participants. So there are some people who could be missing out on being entered into the raffle. So while we take questions, this is your last chance of entering this raffle. Again, private chat to the host, your name, address, phone number, email, and we will get you entered. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. And All right. I think Megan's on with us right now. Megan, have you seen if there's any questions in there, or did you have any thoughts that you wanted to add if there aren't any questions?
I have not seen any questions come through.
Oh, good.
I don't have anything to add right now. You did a great job.
Well, fantastic. While we're
I
waiting
have
for some,
one question that was sent just to the host that says, I was just diagnosed. Should I avoid dairy and oats also?
I would definitely recommend avoiding oats. And I know that can be really tricky that first year because oats is such a common thing, but ideally you would, you know, you have a nice baseline because if you've done the blood work testing, and then if you decide you want to, after a year, introduce oats, you'd want to test before you do that to kind of see where your blood levels are and then introduce. It's kind of an option. And then, you know, maybe in 6 months later, you would test again to see if your levels are rising. You know, some people have symptoms, but some people have celiac disease and they are unaware of, they don't have one of the 200 potential symptoms that you can have with celiac disease. And with dairy, it kind of just depends on the person. So it depends if you have symptoms, if you don't, if you're having GI symptoms. So that's something if you want to email me and we could chat on the phone about that. I'd be happy to that. My email, I'll put my slide up. There's a way to contact me if you do have questions.
We have another question that says, what about gluten-free gravy? I noticed that McCormick gluten-free gravy has not been at Hy-Vee for at least 5 weeks.
Oh my goodness, I cannot believe that I didn't pull some gravy out. You're right, we definitely need to have gravy, not just for the holidays, but all time of the year. I did notice, I'm not sure which brand, but yeah, I think McCormick actually is nicely priced. So I'm sad to hear that you're not seeing that one. So that's usually in the regular aisle. But at Hy-Vee, you should be able to find some other brands. I can't think of them right off the top of my head in the gluten-free aisle. But I have to admit, I always have a backup of turkey and beef gravy at home. And we can always make it from scratch with cornstarch, but so much easier just to use the packet.
Another question, will Hy-Vee be getting the Char Puff pastry for the holidays?
Will they be getting the what?
The Char Puff pastry.
Oh, you know what? I don't know. And I'm going to write that down. Char puffed pastry. You know what? I can find out and I will post it on our gluten-free Facebook page. Or you can always email me and ask me as well.
Similarly, is there a way to request a particular gluten-free item at Hy-Vee?
You know, it's going to kind of vary by Hy-Vee. At my Hy-Vee, what I do is just if you email me, I can forward it. I forward it to my guy, and he checks on it. And oh, good, we're getting some extra minutes. I'm excited. Yeah, the first thing is usually talk to the health market manager. And then, but if there's a dietitian available, she can help you too. I don't actually do the ordering. I utilize people in the store, but it's finding that your contact at your Hy-Vee, either the health market manager, dietitian, or a manager.
Another question about seasonings in general, such as McCormick. Their regular taco seasoning does not contain gluten-free ingredients, but gluten ingredients, but they also sell one labeled GF.
You know, I would always tend to buy the product labeled gluten-free, and I want to thank you for that question, because one thing I did not say and I wanted to make sure and say is with any grain-based, it's not a grain-based product, but with any grain-based product, bread, pasta, whatever, if it's not labeled gluten-free, please don't eat it. I've had clients that go to a health food store and been told that, oh, this bread is gluten-free, and it was like spelt bread, and it wasn't gluten-free. So any gluten-free product, it's gluten-free. Please make sure it's a grain product, make sure it's labeled gluten-free. And I know the taco seasoning is a problem right now. I noticed there's not a lot of the gluten-free labeled ones available. That's a shortage issue, and hopefully that will be resolved soon.
In that, in regard to that question, I was just going to also say that McCormick seasonings, their single ingredient seasonings are supposed to all be gluten-free. They are not labeled as such, but over the years, that's my trusted go-to brand for single ingredient spices. So that kind of would pertain to the rest of his question, which was, what about McCormick seasonings in general? I would not use the McCormick regular taco seasoning that's not labeled gluten-free, because that has a multitude of different spices included. But would I buy the McCormick chili powder? Yes, that would be how I would answer that question. So
Thank you, Megan. All right, do we have more questions, or are we getting close to our drawing?
Question about not being able to find the Glutino English muffins at Hy-Vee. Will they
The what brand?
Glutino English muffins.
Okay. It's either probably a shortage issue or it's just interesting because it's really weird. So the gluten-free Glutino English muffins.
And then last call for wanting to enter the drawing. Last call. I have 18 people. I see 23 participants. Anybody else want to be added? Please send a private chat message to the host, GF Omaha, with your name, address, number, and email, and you will be entered.
And Mariah is doing this so fair. She's actually entering all the names into an Excel spreadsheet and doing a random. This is so random. She's really doing a nice job.
Okay.
While we're waiting for people to finish doing that, I want to show the next slide just of our upcoming Zoom series presentations. We have 2 dietitians from the medical center on November 17th that are going to do gluten-free label reading. So if you want to be master gluten label readers, please join us for that. There's always something new. I always learn something new. And then Megan Ringenberg, our leader of our celiac group that we have here, is going to be doing restaurants and more on December 15th. And I'm sure we're going to have a record turnout for that. It'll be a good one. So where can you find this information? If you want to be added to our email list, you just email gfomaha@gmail.com. And so that's how we send out emails. And then we also have a Facebook page as well. And if you want that link, feel free to email me and I can send you that link to our Facebook page. The other thing that I would be willing to share, and Mariah or Megan can email this out, is Hy-Vee has a gluten-free product listing. It's an extensive listing of all our store brand items. These don't have certifications, but they have been vetted as that there are no gluten-free ingredients in them. So they may not say gluten-free, but they have no gluten-free ingredients in there. So if you want some, so for instance, like the vitamins is in there and some of the cheeses. And there's some items on there that cheeses that do have gluten. It was a cheese stick one year based on where it was processed. So it can be helpful to have all that information. So Mariah is working hard at finding these answers. While she's working, I am going to show you what's going to be coming. We're going to have a grand prize winner for this $75 gift card. I showed you earlier, we're going to give a 10% off Health Market coupon. I'm also going to tell you a little secret. It's actually not a secret, but if you want to think it is, that's cool. At all Hy-Vees on Wednesdays, there's 10% off in the Health Market. And also, you might not know, if you are 60, I think it's 60 or over, they also do a 5% off for seniors. So I'm going to be excited about that day. We got to celebrate getting older. And then in this envelope, all of you will receive in this envelope over 10 gluten-free coupons that we will be mailing you. Also, I'm going to include in that just a Hy-Vee, it's a gluten-free diet. So, you know, it's always good to review, and you might want to share it with a family member just so they get some better understanding of what the gluten-free diet entails. So in a few minutes, our lovely Mariah will have done her hard work and come up with our prize winners. I want to thank you all for joining us. It's just fun to get together, and we can't wait till we can meet in person again.
There was one question about whether or not there would be a recording available. Yes?
We got a thumbs up from Mariah.
Great.
And that's excellent.
So if you would like a recording sent to you, if you could email gfomaha@gmail.com, that would be helpful. Thank you.
We'll probably try to start a YouTube channel and post them there for everyone, just because it might be hard to email a video file, but so that video channel will post information on the Facebook, and we can send out an email once that is up and running. So I am just finalizing, making sure I didn't miss anybody, which I don't believe I have, except, yes. Okay, so we have our grand prize winner and 3 swag bags picked
Right.
via a random number generator. You are all listed and assigned a number and randomly drawn via the internet's random number generator. And so our grand prize winner is Marlene Fremont.
Marlene. Okay.
And then,
Congratulations, Marlene.
yes, congratulations. All right. And then for our 3 swag bag winners, number 1 is Tara Stafford. Tara Stafford.
Yay, Tara.
Yay, I feel like we should have like confetti, like pop,
Yeah.
everything. Number 2, and I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing any of your names. Melissa Gaber? Melissa, you are number 2.
Yay, Melissa.
And then number 3 is Brooke Gurwell.
Oh, cool. All right.
Brooke, you are number 3 swag bag winner. And then, of course, all of you, if you sent your address, you will be receiving those coupons.
Yes. Now, for those of you who won a swag bag, that needs to be picked up at the 132nd and Dodge Hy-Vee. If you do not live in the area, please send our host a message and say, put my name back in the hat. Would like you to pick these up within 5 days. Stuff that customer service doesn't last there much longer, it disappears. So got about 5 days, we'll have those available at customer service for you to pick up. And if for some reason that doesn't work for you, send me an email. Again, my email is right up there and I'll pull it into my office. But I would like to, if possible, to have them all picked up within 5 days. All right, did you get anybody say that they couldn't pick it up or anything?
Nope, just a lot of congrats and wahoos and thank
you. All right, I like that. Okay. All right. Well, I hope we see everybody at the gluten-free label reading Zoom. Keep your eyes open for those. And thanks to everybody for joining us. It feels good to be together, even if it is virtual. Megan, Mariah, anything else?
Nope, sounds great. Thanks, Shelly.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.